tell me again about pandemic life. I know everybody's had a different angle on how things kind of hit them. I mean, as a band, not being able to be out there in front of your fans, but from the other side of it, maybe you got more downtime to be around your family and friends.
Yeah, I mean, for me, honestly, especially because this, there's, how can I say, I got divorced maybe 7 years ago, and this feels to me like my first actual post-divorce record. I did one record that was very much in the process and a record that was very much before the process, but this is kind of like, oh, next stage of my life. I'm not just in recovery from a traumatic event. And so, there's one song that has summer, but even that is kind of distanced. And, in that, for me, one of the biggest differences is just moving in with my girlfriend. I was at home longer than I'd been in years, and I had a home again for the first time in like 7 years. Where I was waking up next to somebody, getting to take care of other people, like, just pretty basic stuff. But for me, that was like the biggest thing, was having a home again and having my kids come back from wherever they were and stay with us. And, just, got to be with my kids again more than I had been in years, because their lives all got disrupted. So, their loss was to some degree my gain in that respect.
And definitely this album, I mean, it almost seems like it's therapeutic in a lot of ways for people. Was that kind of the way you were writing it? I feel like the way you write is more so for you, and if other people resonate with it, so be it. But I mean, it really has that, like, maybe people finding ways to cope with what's going on in the pandemic. I don't know.
There's parts of that. I mean, the funny thing about it is it was mostly written before that all started. There were definitely some lyrical tweaks and one kind of major rewrite that happened. The song Hold On changed a lot. But I mean, I think for me in this time of my life too, the subjects tend to get like both more broad and more specific at the same time. That it's like, I've noticed from the spiritual teachers I like, it's less that they pretend to have like some special like red phone to the spirit world, and more that they give the same advice over and over, which is pretty much always like, show up now and be kind. And it's like, pay attention to what's actually happening, stop regretting the past, stop fearing the future, show up immediately, give more love. Like, it's a fairly short thing that you can rephrase in 1,000 other ways. And those were the best lessons for the pandemic, and they're the best lessons when it's not the pandemic. And so while there's a little tweaking that was maybe more about, I think the increasing feeling that at least I carry around is that, like, oh shit, things aren't going to get easier. Like, this is going to happen, but the environment's going to keep getting worse. Democracy is in decline. There's going to be a rise of authoritarianism. The economy is going to not, like, I just have this kind of a slight bit of doomsday feeling about the future.
Just a bit.
Just a bit, just a lot. Once again, the planet will be fine. The planet is very creative. Life will continue, but probably not large mammals. Anyway, so, but yeah, it's this weird thing. How do you contend with this? Like, as a guy who's been Chicken Little my whole life, it's like, now this guy's actually falling. So what do you do with that information? And how do you kind of still, what's your choice? Your choice is still how you react to it. You still just be kind and show up in the moment, because it's really all you can do. I mean, unless you want to spend all your energy getting a gun bunker. But I kind of feel like things go, I don't know, if things go truly, end of the world, Mad Max apocalyptic, I'll probably just get shot really quickly or dehydrate to death. So it's, it's it makes the day to day like, well, may as well still just give a lot of love and not really worry too much, and be kind. So anyway, not to get very dark on you, but so the lessons for this time, I think, are the lessons for life generally. And once again, I write the songs to get myself through my own, they're cheaper than therapy. So not that I don't do therapy too, but it's cheaper than having 2 therapists or twice as many sessions. So songs are how I do it.
But our therapy could just be from your music. We don't even need to see somebody.
There you go. I'm just trying to save you all a little scrap.
Nice.
Since we don't have a comprehensive healthcare system, it's the least I can do.
Yeah, but so obviously there's been a break between albums. Was it more of like really marinating everything to get it the way you like before it was presented, or things just kind of happened the way they were?
No, I mean, we had 8 years between Toad records, less time for me between solo records, but still actually a lot of time since the last solo project. And I think I just had a number of years of, once again, kind of post-divorce. I did a lot of music, but I did a lot of music that was kind of not public or not publicized, or just not, I needed to kind of get back. I don't know, and it's weird to use, words like sacred, but I needed to get back a sense of the sacred. And like, I did a lot of like community choir leading and just like stuff that had nothing to do with ticket sales or career or anything. I just wanted to sing songs that meant something to me in situations that weren't about audience or money or winning or any of that stuff, just like for the sake of singing songs. And so I spent a lot of time in these kind of alternate worlds that I didn't want to think about a job or my past or past expectation or anything else. And I worked enough to kind of keep going. And then I just spent all this time in these kind of other things. I wanted the soul food and I didn't want to deal with the rest of it. And for me, I think that process also made me remember like why I make music, why I want to make music, why it's important to people, why it's not just narcissism, and so that sense of what a gift it is to play music, how healing it is, and to separate it entirely from career for a while. Just after things fell apart, I desperately needed that perspective. So, yeah.
And it's got to be even more gratifying where you see some of those lyrics, maybe not in the way that they were meant to like come across on the crowd, but how heartfelt it meant to them. I mean, everybody's got their own interpretation of some of these lyrics, but just to know that people aren't just singing along word for word, they're really kind of feeling the music, understanding the lyrics in their own, I guess, therapeutic session.
Yeah, well, it's more songwriting. I mean, the way I like to write, and different people have, there's different degrees. There's a great like Malcolm Gladwell podcast on Bobby Braddock, the King of Tears, and talking about like, songs like Divorce, or like He Stopped Loving Her Today, or these, like country songs that are just utterly narrative. It is a story. It is like pressing all the buttons. It is designed to make you cry, like a really maudlin narrative, but super effective. And then things that are, you can go Nirvana for like, I don't know what the fuck anything Nirvana ever said meant, but I loved it. It said so well. Like I have no idea what's going on under the hood, but it makes me feel. And I like a really a blend of specificity and openness, so that the feelings are really specific. And I like the ambivalence of feelings. It's not just I'm happy. It's like you know, it's that thing that Van Morrison always did. If even if all the words in a song were joyful, there was this underpinning of loss, whether it was just to his voice or something in him, where it wasn't just like, hey, everything's great, I'm walking on sunshine, yay. It's like, no, life's really, really hard, and happy moments are precious. They're to be remembered and to be treasured, you know, that you feel the weight of them against that. And so I think when I'm writing, I want things to be really specific, but in ways that aren't tied to necessarily a single event or a single time in history or a single political moment, that are a little broader in scope. Because I find if I write a song about what it means to lose something I love, even if it needs to be specific enough that you can grab onto that, but I like it to work so the next time I lose something I love, that song still works. So whether that's my dad dying or my marriage ending or somebody I love getting sick or, you know, whatever it may be, there's a thread that ties all those various kinds of grief together. I mean, they're all the result of loving something and then having something change, having something move away, and that aspect of grief is a constant. It's the cost of loving anything. And so there are a lot of different ways you can approach the subject of it, that can be bigger than just saying you left me and I'm so sad. And not that isn't a decent song to write, but I tend to find when I write that way, I'm not at my best as an artist usually. I prefer songs that broaden the perspective a little, so that you know, a song about a breakup can actually affect somebody whose kid moved away or whose loved one died or who lost their dog. You know, it's like, and it's all the same soup. It's all, I loved something and it changed. And so
Have you seen like some of those songs that maybe you did however many years ago that really have taken on new meaning as like really life has progressed? It could have been something from your debut to now, kind of like what you were saying, maybe consciously, like you weren't planning on it having that longevity, but it really still has that meaning.
yeah, I mean, I think in general, I was a brooding kid. So even when we started, I mean, I would have said most things very differently, but you know, there are songs about social justice. There's, you know, some of them are, but even a song like Chile, which was, you know, about Pinochet's regime, and you know, was written in a really obscure way. Like the song is called Chile, but it's about an authoritarian regime. And I played it a few times again during Trump and was thinking, huh, there you go. These things come around. And so it's, yeah, I mean, the subjects come back. I feel, and there's some songs I wish I'd never written, but or that I'm happy to just leave in the past. But by and large, I feel really happy. I mean, we've played shows with other bands who, you know, you're getting in your 50s and 60s, and if your songs are all about like hot girls after the show, like it starts to not be a good look, right? And or even just about we are young, we are free. They're great to sing when you're young and free, but it's like we are old, we are tired, you know, at some point. And we got old and tired fast. So I think our songs, they've had a decent shelf life, and I feel good about that.
Is there any like big projects that are kind of in the realm, maybe with the album, or maybe you're already working on the other stuff? Or
The album was a big project. I mean, for all the for all the coverage we've had, it was supposed to be a big project. But no, I mean, doing this, it's you know, Toad's first album in 8 years. So that was a big project,
are you
and
going to push singles, videos, anything like that?
we've done all we can. We're just a little indie thing. So,
Yeah.
but you know, I'm working on a solo record. I've been doing, you know, pulling out the laptop and fiddling with that while I'm able to on the road, doing some background vocals, and that'll be out next year. And then more Toad, and you know, just kind of keep making music. Don't know how to do much else. So,
Yeah, I was kind of curious. I mean, Did you ever get to the thinking that, oh my God, what if I have to start doing something else? I mean, what would that be? Is it
Oh, I'm
more?
there today. I'm in a total panic about it. I mean, it's strange because I'm, uh, it's the weird thing about being the main guy. And well, I mean, being like, a singer-songwriter, like I go off and I just do more of my own songs. And so, and I have a fragile enough ego that I haven't dared to do many other things. And so uh, I'm not RZA or somebody who just kind of seems to jump for like, yeah, I'll write screenplays. Like I read a book, I'll figure that out. Like I tend to feel, I worry enough that preemptively I've decided that I still don't understand why I have a career, because I wasn't ambitious. I know I'm good at what I do, but you used to also have to be ambitious. And I've done a lot to sabotage the career, and it's still persisted. But the confidence to enter into other realms, I can, before I even try, I've already consigned it to the scrap heap. And
Wow.
found I would have been a good actuary. Like the way my mind works, like it's, I could have been hired by Amtrak, and I could have just gone, well, if you spill this many people on this, your insurance costs will be that, it's like, I'm great with disaster prep. So yeah, if I'm working on anything, it's the things I would dream of doing, or things that I might actually just dare to do, or not give a shit enough about their failure that I would just do anyway. And it's the
But you
great thing
haven't
with,
crossed that bridge yet.
yeah, the thing about music is I need music whether or not I get paid for it. I know I need music to live. I need to sing, I need to write, I need to have music actively in my life. Uh and so that'll be there whether or not it's my job. And as to what my job would be if I had to do something else, yeah, once again, daily panic, pretty much, because I'm always assuming I'm going to lose my voice and not be able to tour again. So
Then you'll just be the dancer in the background.
yeah, nobody'd pay for that.
Hey, well, that's pretty much it. I know you got a show right around the corner down here. Anything else you like to share for people?
No, just this isn't my best angle. Next time I'll set up the camera a little better.
Yeah.
But no, looking forward to coming and playing. And where in Florida are you? Are you near Culture Room or what?
Myself, I'm in Palm Beach.
Palm Beach. Okay. So yeah, just looking forward. I guess we're in Clearwater and Orlando, and
I
yeah,
think that's what I remember seeing. Yeah.
yeah. And so looking forward to making it down there. It's been great to be on tour. I mean, we had 551 days between shows. And so just to get to play music again, it's been really great. Band's getting along great. We're sounding good. It's been a ton of fun, and we haven't, knock on wood, we haven't had to shut down. And I know a lot of tours that have been, shut down. So I'm really happy we've been able to make it through and stay healthy. Yeah. So, and luckily numbers are down in Florida. That makes me happy.
Oh yeah.